Well, welcome back to the paddock here, where I am down next to a fantastic McLaren that is owned by this man, Chris Springer, who has just sprung into action, grabbing himself a water, because we've been chatting for quite a while about this fantastic car, Chris, and you came to get your hands on it, I think, not that long ago, December of last year, but you know, that's the thing with these historic cars. When you see one that you want, sometimes it's a bit of a journey to get your hands on it.
And it was, yeah. I first had contact with this car when I very first decided I wanted to buy it was about 18 months prior, but we just couldn't seem to agree on price-wise. Yeah. And but
tell us what you managed to get in the end, though. It's a McLaren, but it's one that people may not have seen before. We'll step to the side here while George has a look at it. But tell us about it.
So this car was one of 9 produced, and they replicated the factory cars, of course. And so the 2 team cars were. They moved on to the M20, which is the 73 model, and then this was offered to all the, I guess you call it privateers or semi-professional people. Yeah. And there was nine chassis or 9 cars built, with this being number 6 of the 9. Yeah. So it was finished in June of 1972.
And when we talk about the Can-Am race series, this didn't actually race in the kind of like the original Can-Am race series, but over in Europe, in Germany, that's where we started to see this thing hit the racetrack.
Yeah, correct. So they had an inter series, called inter series group, and it was all Group 7 though, and so that was basically the unlimited category, and that's what this car was. And it was originally a big block Chevy with twin turbochargers, but the reliability wasn't there, and so at some point they fit just a standard, normally aspirated 500 cubic inch big block Chevy, which is what it has today.
And when we look at the like the outlet pipes on the top of the engine block there, I commented to you a while ago about why are those like pipes all at different angles, yeah. And that's quite interesting. That was a feature of the car that you quite enjoyed and drew you to it.
Yeah, I think whoever had that idea, the artistic flair was certainly high on the list too, because they were trying to cover up a big hole in the torque curve, and they established the fact that they could stagger the intake trumpets like that, and it actually worked. And but for me, it's a sexy, really sexy deal, you know. So.
But also, as well, interestingly, at the Rolex this year, you've bought a McLaren along, but we're celebrating 70 years of Corvette, and that's something that I know that you also enjoy driving. But you haven't bought one here this year.
No, I thought I had my hands full with this car, and jumping from this car to a Corvette may not have been the smartest thing. So the speed differentiation is pretty high. It's about 10 seconds a lap faster than my fastest Corvette, which is no slouch. And so my brain's having a bit of a time to try to keep up.
Let's spin ourselves around so we can put the car behind us, because we really should be seeing this over your shoulder, I think. And what I want to ask you, you've driven all sorts of things. You were racing cars, I think you said, from when you were about 14 years old, and you're back into historic racing now. What is it like, you know, if I'm going to get in that car there, all of that horsepower, 800 brake horsepower, whatever it is, what's it like sitting in that driver's seat, holding onto that wheel and planting your foot?
Well, your heart rate goes way up. You get a pretty good shot of adrenaline, and that doesn't seem to subside. But it is kind of like getting shot out of a cannon. I've heard that a while before, and you definitely hit you in the back. And if your tires are a little bit cold, they just spin. And that's what happened yesterday at the start of yesterday's race. I spun my tires and went like this, and so I'll see if I can do a better job today.
And I know that you live just down the road from Laguna Seca here. You've probably been to the racetrack many times before, been on it, I'm sure. A lot of work's gone into the facility in the off-season, last sort of year or so. The track's been laid. How's it holding up? How's it handling?
It's really good. So we really enjoyed ourselves. The track's beautiful. They take out a couple of the bumps. It seems like there's more traction here. Maybe the track's faster, but the bridge is real pretty, and of course the whole deal is really top-notch.